What's going on, Monster Jam fans? It's time for more Monster Jam racing. Hope you're all staying cool out there. I know I am. We're trying to be anyways. But I'm doing alright. Alright, so if you weren't with us last time, we started with Triple Threat Racing this time. It was Iron Outlaw, Bounty Hunter, and Avenger. It was 2 Extreme Racing versus Team Scream, and Iron Outlaw took them both out. So I'm pretty sure Iron Outlaw is a 2-time champion now. I can't remember if the truck's won in the past or not. I think it has. I'll have to look. But anyways, excuse me. Anyways, today we are doing the normal racing. So we're going to kick it off with our Triple Threat Racing champion, Iron Outlaw, taking on the truck he beat, Avenger. And down they go over the cars, and Avenger getting his revenge against Iron Outlaw. And moving on to round number 2. The global sponsor, Avenger. Looks awesome. There's so many Avenger trucks Spin Master can do. But they got plenty of time to do them all. Alright, next up in racing is Tomfoolery Motorsports versus 2 Extreme Racing. It's Chevy versus Ford. Excalibur taking on Bounty Hunter. And down they go over the cars, and Bounty Hunter does it again. Oh, wow. Oh, man. There. I just took a picture for the thumbnail. Anyways, Bounty Hunter moving on to round 2. What a finish. Alright, next up in racing, another 2 Extreme Racing truck. It's Jekyll and Hyde taking on the Nightwalker, the blue on black edition. And here they go. Down they go over the cars, and Jekyll and Hyde takes out the Nightwalker. Moving on to round number 2. Looking good for 2 Extreme. Well, except for Iron Outlaw. And next up in racing, we got Double Decker taking on the Gray Ghost Mystery Motors Gravedigger. Double Decker, another truck we haven't seen for a while. This is a pretty good look for it. I'll have to run the regular one sometime, but not right now. Here they go. Down they go over the cars, and Gravedigger. And that's Lucky Lane right there. In Triple Threat, it was the middle lane. But for normal racing, it's that lane. Alright, next up in racing, we got Max D taking on Fuel Academy. Sorry for the background noise. It'll soon be gone. We got Max D taking on Fuel Academy. Futuristic SUV taking on the school bus. Let's go racing. Down they go, and it is going to be Max D. This time, it was the outside lane. The inside lane, or the far lane, whatever you want to call it. That's been the lucky lane. But not this time. This time, it was in favor of Max D. Alright, next up in racing, we got a couple of crazy trucks here. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. Down they go over the cars, and El Toro Loco going all the way to the end, leaving Wild Thing in the dust. What a race. That really was a crazy race. And El Toro Loco was crazy fast. Alright, next up in racing, another legendary race. Since I wasn't able to do it last time, it's Gravedigger taking on Bigfoot. And by last time, I mean the last time series, because these two were on the same team. But now, they're enemies once again. Here we go. And Bigfoot takes out Gravedigger. Moving on to round number 2. Alright, next up in racing, it's World Finals 22 taking on Maximum Destruction. Made me so nostalgic to see this body again at the pit party in Nashville. And all the fire suits that Tom Meents wore. Especially the 10th anniversary Max D fire suit. I mean, that hit me the hardest was nostalgia. That and seeing the retro Max D. Anyways, Max D, Nashville, here we go. And Maximum Destruction goes into World Finals 22, knocking him off the racing lane and getting the win. Alright, next up in racing, it's Rockstar taking on Gravedigger the Legend. Not much to say, so let's just go. Down they go, Promise of the Legend, and Rockstar wipes out, but gets the win. Not sure what happened with Gravedigger the Legend there, but regardless, Rockstar is your winner and will advance to round 2. Alright, next up in racing, futuristic SUV taking on a retro Chevy. It's Big Kahuna taking on Team Mens. Classic is what I should have said. Anyways, Team Mens will get the win. What a save there. Big Kahuna on his roof. Talk about wipeout. And next up in racing, there's a fly that won't leave me alone. Next up in racing is Full Bore taking on Monster Jam Fire Rescue, which is kind of built like Ice Cream Man if you think about it. Round in the front, square in the back. And down they go, and Fire Rescue is going to get the win over Full Bore. Alright, another new name to this lineup. Yeet. Alright, next up in racing, got a couple monster machines here. We got Quad Chaos taking on Sergeant Smash. One thing they got in common is they got something to do with something you can ride, whether it be an ATV or a ride truck. Here they go, down they go, and Sergeant Smash crashes into Quad Chaos in midair, but Quad Chaos still gets the win. What a crash. Really sent Quad Chaos flying. Tried to send him to Ohio. Alright, Monster Jam fans, we are almost to the end of round 1. We got a few races left, this being one of them. Gungster taking on Dragon. Down they go, and it's going to be Dragon. When we thought it was going to be Gungster, Dragon took advantage of his barrel roll and takes the win, securing his position in round number 2. Alright, next race we got Carnage Asada taking on Sinistar. Food Truck taking on a Ford Super Duty. Down they go, problems with Sinistar, and what happened there? They swapped lanes. That was weird. But regardless, Carnage Asada will be in the next round, taking on Dragon. And last up for round 1, you saw these two trucks on Stadium Series Blue this year. Thunderosaurus taking on Axe. Let's go racing. And it's going to be Thunderosaurus going into the triple stack. Kind of having an early freestyle, but still gets the win over Axe. Alright, before we move on to round 2, time for a fast loser race. So we got Sergeant Smash, Full Bore, and Gravedigger the Legend. Here we go. And your fast loser is going to be Full Bore. Alright, now we can proceed to round number 2. Alright, the rivalry continues between 2 Extreme Racing and Team Scream. It's Bounty Hunter taking on Avenger. Here we go. And Bounty Hunter does it again, taking out Avenger. Alright, next up in racing, more 2 Extreme. It's Jekyll and Hyde taking on Gravedigger, the one that survived. And here we go. And it will be a 2 Extreme matchup once again in round 3, as Jekyll and Hyde takes the win over Gravedigger. Alright, next up in racing, it's Max D taking on El Toro Loco. And Chuck Warner drove both trucks. Probably wondering, wait, when did Chuck Warner drive Max D? The World Finals Encore, 10th Anniversary Encore. Yeah, look it up. Anyways, Max D and El Toro Loco down the go, and it's going to be El Toro Loco. Max D had some problems going down, swapping lanes. He didn't even use a turn signal. Alright, next up in racing, both trucks want to destroy the Gravedigger. It's Bigfoot taking on Maximum Destruction. Here we go. Once again, swapping lanes, or try to anyways, but Max D is going to get the win over Bigfoot. Alright, next up in racing, Battle of the Front Engine Trucks. It's Rockstar taking on Team Mens. This ought to be a good one. Down they go. And, oh, that was a good one, but it is going to be Team Mens. Moving on to round 3. Alright, next up in round 2 racing, the new kid on the block, Fire Rescue, taking on the 2022 World Finals Racing Champion, Quad Chaos. Fire truck versus the ATV. Let's go racing. And it's going to be Quad Chaos taking out Fire Rescue. Alright, we're almost done with round 2 racing here. We got Connor DeSada taking on Dragon. Let's go. Connor DeSada getting a little cattywampus there. Going into the side of the triple. Dragon takes advantage of it and takes the win. Advancing to round 3. And last up, a truck that's been around for quite some time. Taking on the new kid on the block, Thunder Rores. Last race of round 2. And here we go. And it is going to be full bore. Showing these newbies how it's done. Oh, and it's having issues with that again, but I got it. We're good. We're good. And it doesn't look like we're going to need any fast losers for this round. Oop, I almost did it again. Alright, this is round 3. Y'all ready? Well, doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyways. It's inevitable. Alright, here we go. 2 extreme matchup. Like I said earlier, Jekyll and Hyde taking on Bounty Hunter. Let's go. Problem for Bounty Hunter and Jekyll and Hyde going into an obstacle, but still getting the win. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter is just on his tailgate again. And, well, that's it for Bounty Hunter. Alright, next up in racing, El Toro Loco versus Max D. Again. Only this time it's the OG Max D. In another lane. So here we go. El Toro Loco Maximum Destruction, and El Toro Loco takes it again. Wow. Going all the way to the end once again. My money's on El Toro Loco, Monster Jam fans. What about you guys? Well, it's going to be somebody else. Every time I bet on something. Well, I don't actually bet with money. I don't do that. Alright, anyways, moving on. Up next is Team Ments versus Quad Chaos. Let's go. And Team Ments going all the way to the end, just like El Toro Loco did. And we'll be going to the semifinals. Alright, the last race of round 3. Full Bore taking on Dragon. The Boar versus the Dragon. Let's go. And Full Bore taking out Dragon. Alright, this is the semifinals. This is going to be interesting. And here we go, semifinals. El Toro Loco, this time in the other lane, kind of outside of their comfort zone a little bit, taking on Jekyll and Hyde. This will be a good one. And here we go. And your winner is... Ooh. Your winner is Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, I knew it. I knew El Toro Loco was going to lose. Like, every time they look that good. What I mean is, every time they do as great as El Toro Loco did, I always say, my money's on this truck. This truck's going to win it all. And when it gets close to the championship race, well, they lose. Anyways, who will face Jekyll and Hyde in the final race? Team Ments or Full Bore? Let's find out. Down they go, and it is going to be Full Bore. We are going to crown a new champion here. Alright, this is the final race, Monster Jam fans. Let's meet our competitors. In the far lane, representing 2 Extreme Racing, is One Bad Ghoul Rhinobyte 2008 in Jekyll and Hyde. And in the near lane, this truck was randomly added. I put a bunch of monster truck names in a wheel, spun it, and this is the one it chose. It's Jacob E. Griffin, driving Full Bore. Somebody's got to win. Somebody has got to lose. And they're ready to go racing. Let's crown a new champion right here, right now. Down they go. And your winner is Jekyll and Hyde. And 2 Extreme Racing has done it again. They are on fire this week. First Iron Outlaw, now Jekyll and Hyde. What's next, Bounty Hunter? I don't know how well it did in both versions of racing. I wouldn't be surprised, but congratulations to One Bad Ghoul Rhinobyte 2008 in Jekyll and Hyde. Go ahead and celebrate, you deserve it. Alright, keeping it on all 4. Well, we got one more thing to do before we close out. I just got this truck in the mail today. You can catch this truck in the next Science Series. Please welcome the the First Responder. Part of the veteran monster truck team. This thing is awesome. And I definitely plan on getting the veteran truck pretty soon. This is a new body. And it looks awesome. And here it goes. Oh, geez, first impressions. We're just going to try that one more time. Come on, First Responder. That's better. Oh, almost so skywheelie there. Alright. Well, that concludes racing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for Long Jump, because that's next. And if you've seen Thunder Roars in this video, then I think you know how it's going to go. Wish me luck on setting it up out here. Alright. See you later.